Okay, everyone, we are here again with Mariah. She is back. One of our frequent guests. Um,
Yeah,
okay, what's going on with you?
not much, you know?
Okay, all right. Well, there we have it, everyone.
Yeah.
That's it. There we go.
Yeah.
Um, I asked Mariah to prepare a few questions for this time around, so that we can have kind of stuff to delve into. And of course, we can always delve into my questions too, if you'd like. So. You want to go one for one? Like you ask a question, I ask a question?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. You want to go first or do you want me to?
I'll go first. They're kind of deep questions.
Great, great. Absolutely.
So I don't know if you want to answer them or not.
Well, we'll see. You know,
Okay. So the first one I wrote down was, what's your biggest fear?
what is my biggest fear?
Yeah.
Okay. What is my biggest fear? I uh I think failing.
Mm-hmm.
I think failing um that's something that I really love to do, putting my heart out there and not succeeding.
Right.
At this point in my life, that's something that's really, yeah, I would say that's, um, I mean, there's definitely more to that,
Yeah.
you know.
So, something to think about.
It's something, like I ask people the questions, but it's so hard to answer them myself. Um, I appreciate the question too.
Mm-hmm.
You have to walk the walk and talk the talk. Um,
Yeah.
dying doesn't scare me much because I always go back to it. I think people are always afraid to die. But I'm not afraid to die because I think that I think I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Um,
Okay.
maybe fear of you know what is actually a huge fear of mine is
Well,
being perceived like being perceived as something that I think I the opposite of. Like if I'm doing this YouTube channel and I'm like reaching out to people, to strangers and talking to them, like for the wide culture to be like to find my channel and be like, who is this freak? Who is this freak that's like talking to strangers?
yeah.
That is a huge fear. That is a huge fear. People shunning me for this channel. That's a huge fear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Good question, Mariah. Good question. All right. All right. Choose a number between 1 and 48. 30.
Okay. 30.
Mariah, what is your purpose?
Back with the deep question.
Yeah, of course. There are no surface level questions here.
Man, what is my purpose? It's a good question. um, I don't know how to like answer it because I don't really know the answer. I feel like there's obviously some reason or something I'm still here, but I couldn't really name why or what it was. You know,
I forget. What do you really like to do?
I really don't do anything. That's the thing. I'm quite boring.
Yeah, so like what is your life? Like what is
Exactly.
what is your life? Actually, could you actually explain it to us? Like what your life is like
I
day to
mean,
day? Like intricacy, like hour by hour. Could you tell us what you did today hour by hour?
right. Um, so I did school, online school. I do online. I told you that before. Um, and then what? And then I just kind of like slept. I think I slept for a couple hours and then woke up and then showered and then that's pretty much it. And then I'm always hanging out in my room. And that's like really all I ever do.
What about your parents? Like, remind me again. Yeah, your parents and
Like,
and the human beings in your life. Like, what do they do?
well, I live with my mom and my sister. My mom can't work. She doesn't have a job because she's sick. She has like a lot of health problems that prevent her from having a job. My little sister, she's 11. She goes to in-person school. So, yeah. I mean,
Where is your dad in the picture?
he's not in the picture. That's the thing. I don't really see him. I don't have a relationship with him. We always argue. So,
About what?
it could be about little things like just some things he says, I guess, just like upset me and then it just causes an argument. I don't know.
Mm,
Really, it's just
hmm.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I've asked enough questions. Now you get to throw it at me.
Okay, so it's another these are so I wrote down three, so they're deep questions.
Okay. Yeah. And you can ask me. I mean, you can ask me more than three. You can ask me something that's coming to mind.
All right, so it says, what's the hardest obstacle you had to go through?
Isn't that one of my questions?
Is it?
That's one of my questions. That's number 27.
I could answer it too, but
What is my biggest obstacle? Okay. The cliche answer that I can give here is myself. It's cliche, but it's true. But what does it mean? What does that actually mean?
mm-hmm.
I think I get very angry at myself. I think that I think that uh, sometimes I think, oh my gosh, I'm very old. I haven't done anything worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and that anger is not productive. That anger is not productive.
Right.
So I think my anger is my biggest obstacle, and parts of myself think that I'm just not worthy of much. And I think that is also that comes from my anger. That comes from my uh, lashing out at myself. Anger itself is not bad. Anger itself is a great motivator.
Yeah.
Anger helps me to get motivated to do this channel every day. It helps me to write every morning.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but lashing out at myself, blaming myself, that's not good. That is my obstacle. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Hmm. Um, do you want to answer that question yourself, or do you want me to give you something else?
I mean, I could answer it, but I don't really know if I have the right like exact answer.
Well, there is no. I think that's the thing, Mariah. There is no right answer. It's always changing.
I know it's just um
I guess what do you mean by right answer?
like not really right answer, but like what to like say to answer it, I guess. Because I don't know if I've like, I mean, I've gone through obstacles, but like, I don't know if they're like, been any like serious ones, you know? I'd say maybe one of the hardest obstacles was either childhood or um, having depression, going through me being suicidal. I'd say those are pretty big obstacles.
So could you talk a little bit about your childhood and why you think that was an obstacle, or what was difficult about it?
So my little sister's dad, me and her have different dads, but we have the same mom. So her dad and my mom were together for 10 years, but it was an abusive relationship with them. So there was like lots of altercations that we had to witness, I guess. So lots of just arguing and fighting all the time, stuff like that. So I guess like just trauma and whatever, traumatic experiences. So just having to deal with that, I guess, you know. But
Just having these kind of like role model figures be somewhat abusive, and that is traumatic to you.
hmm
Those memories. Ah, yeah. You don't deserve that.
I
You
know.
know. Yeah, yeah. Keep telling yourself. I mean, like remind yourself that. You know.
I mean, neither did my mom, but she got out of it.
Yeah. She knew, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it takes some time, I'm sure.
hmm
Yeah. If what like why is it that we as people think we're just not worthy of things? Like why is that so seemingly so universal?
I know. I don't. Yeah.
It's very angering to me. That gets me angry. That gets me very angry.
yeah.
You know.
Yep.
How did your sister handle all of it?
Well, she cried most of the time. It went on. I kind of just sat back, I guess, and just, tried to go through it. I was always under my mom's wing though. So like wherever my mom would go, I would go with her. So I was like kind of protective, type of thing. But yeah.
Okay, Mariah, I'm gonna lay another one on you here. I'm gonna give you a random one. I'm gonna choose this one. What are you scared of?
Am I scared of? I feel like that's like the what's my biggest fear kind of question.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Like they kind of correlate. I mean, abandonment. Yeah. So, so
That's that's
definitely one of them.
that's real. What kind? Like in what way?
I
Oh,
guess like
hold on, you froze. This stupid Zoom, man, dude.
you froze too.
So stupid, right? You're right. The quality of Zoom does suck.
I know it's not. It does
It
suck.
does suck. I mean, Omegle is not much better though, to be
No,
completely
no. Um. So in what way? Um. I guess just like okay. I've never really thought about like the types of ways, but maybe just losing a loved one in general, or even just the thought of having someone in your life and then like caring about them so much to the point where you're like it doesn't really feel normal to the point where you're kind of scared that they'll just end up leaving type thing. I guess something like that.
Is there a person in particular that you would really be devastated by if they abandoned you?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't really have friends in general. So I can't say a friend. Like I can't really think of any. I mean, I have friends, but it doesn't always feel like it. I always kind of
Let's go into that a little bit. That's interesting.
I always kind of feel alone. A lot of the time, like I'm a cry out for help, but I don't want the help, so I don't go to anybody. But
yeah,
mm-hmm.
yeah, I get that. Yeah, because like in your mind, at least in my mind, I've had similar feelings. It's like if you go to help, I mean, if you just deal with it yourself, it'll make you stronger. Like that kind of, you know, uh, I can move through this. This isn't that bad compared to other things. I can just deal with it myself.
Right.
But what that does, I mean, it's something that I've done a lot of my life. So right now, what it's led up to right now, after years of thinking that, it blocks it blocks this part of yourself that like a muscle in yourself that helps connect to people in authentic and genuine ways.
Mm-hmm.
Um, um, so, and you want to keep that muscle fresh because that's how friendships are formed, is going and asking for help, crying to people, crying to people that or I don't know, right? Is that what you think? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, but then it's like you only have yourself at the end of the day. Like you're the one that has to make yourself keep going. Like it's like you can't really depend on others. You gotta like find that inner strength in yourself.
Yeah, but releasing emotion, releasing your feelings is really helpful for you to carry on and not go crazy. you know,
Yeah.
that's help. It's helpful. Yeah. At the end of the day, it's only you. But what if at the end of the day you hate yourself? you know,
Yeah, yeah, that's true. I guess you got a point.
I mean, people like helping. People like listening. I think. I mean, that's not saying that people are good listeners, but people like to put. I think that if a person kind of comes out and says, "I'm having a really shitty day," and start like really, if someone really kind of is vulnerable, then those people are like the person that you know the person who's being vulnerable. The other person in the conversation is thinking, "Oh shit! Like this person is actually not being fake with me. Like it's time for me to actually be here for someone," and snaps them out of the whole game of things. You know?
Yeah.
And that's what we need more of. We need people to be like, oh, this is actually happening. This is not just polite conversation. Um, yeah. Any other questions or thoughts that you want to bring up?
Well, I do have another question written down.
Okay. Lay it on me.
All right. So it says, "What's it like being an adult?"
what does that mean?
Well,
What
cause
is
see, for me, cause I'm like a teenager, so it's from a teenager's perspective. Like, like what's it like? I guess.
well, let me ask you. I think this is a great question. I'm really glad you asked it. Um to you, what does it mean to be an adult?
To me,
What will make you an adult?
um, I mean, I guess maybe living on your own,
Mm.
being independent, maybe having a job, something you like doing, something towards that type of.
Hey, great.
I don't know.
It's so funny. Yeah, that's so funny because I think of it being an adult so differently than you do. It's crazy.
Okay,
Okay. So you think independent, job, what else?
living by yourself, Um, I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can tell you those little things at least, you know. Um, so yeah, I'll just be very frank with you.
Okay.
So in high school, my parents were really struggling with money.
Mm-hmm.
And um, yeah, I mean, when we were financially strapped, and then I went to college, and then our house was foreclosed. So was, I didn't have a home, and my parents, you know, went to two different places and were essentially separated, and eventually got divorced. So that whole financial situation launched me into being financially independent. And you know, ever since I was like 16, like as soon as I turned 16, I got a job. You know, so I always had my own money. I was never rich, really. Um, so financially independent was something that I really wanted to be. Like I always wanted to just, I wanted to have my own thing.
Yeah.
Um, then living on my own in college, like moving off to college was just so great, you know? Because like in high school, you're just like you're plopped down with I mean, I really enjoyed my high school friends too. Like I have a great relationship with a few of them still. And but like in high school, you are there with people who just happen to be in that same area, you know? But when you
Yeah.
go to college, you get to choose where you want to go all anywhere in the country, and those same people are choosing to go to that same place. So all of these people of the same minds are gathering in the same spot. And I mean, my college friends are my rock, you know, like I just like hung out with, you know, my friend Jimmy today, like playing Call of Duty. Like I was talking to my friend Lucas earlier. I talk to Dan almost every day. So I mean, like these guys are my rock, and
Mm-hmm.
that part was amazing. 18, 19, 20. I mean, from 18 to 22 was just like heaven on earth. Um, and then a job, being the adult version. So, I mean, I've always loved acting, you know, and
Yeah.
I, uh, I really like a big part of my mind was like I just want to live my life and do the thing that I love to do, and I'm just going to go and do it. And I did that after college. You know, I majored in sociology,
Mm-hmm.
um, but I had always acted. I was interested in developmental economics, which is like you know um, like helping to um, bring poor neighborhoods out of poverty, pretty much. Like I was interested in that, but then I really loved acting, so I was like, I'm just gonna do acting because I can't live without doing it. And
Yeah.
I did that, and that was thrilling. It was disappointing in many days. I was just like, why the heck am I doing this? This sucks. Why? Why?
Yeah.
But the days that it works are just like the the best. Like, you know.
Mhm.
Um, Thank you for listening to me.
Yeah.
You've launched me into a monologue, But what's interesting is like your definition of adulthood is very different from my definition of adulthood. Um, because I don't think of myself as an adult. To me, what an adult is someone who is no longer curious. An adult is someone who thinks that they are right unequivocally and uh, and don't listen. Um, an adult is someone who's like given up hope on things, on people. I mean, these are deep, dark, kind of like,
Yeah,
like these are the thoughts that go through my head every day, Mariah. Like these are like this is what I
all
live with,
right. It's all
you know.
right.
Um, so I think of adulthood in a very different light. Um, and so in that way, I do not consider myself an adult at all. I think of myself as just a developed teenager, you know,
I mean, yeah, pretty much.
you know. Yeah, curious. I'm curious. I have hope. I have loads of hope. I have loads of faith in people. Um, yeah, and I want to live that way my whole life.
Mhm.
So yeah, good question, killer, killer. You got to do your own YouTube channel.
Why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because you're a great question asker.
I mean, I got more questions.
Okay, well, you got to answer. You got to answer one yourself. All right, pick a number.
Um, 20.
Oh, define hatred.
Hmm. I mean, okay. There's, eh, there's many. I mean, isn't there like more than one definition
Oh yeah.
hatred? Because I mean, hatred could be many different things. It could be, I don't know, bullying. I guess maybe bullying. Uh, um,
Hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah. Let's delve into the well, like for you, for you, when do you hate someone?
Well,
When do
because
you
hate's a
think that
strong
you?
word, you know.
Hmm.
Hate's a strong word, so
Yeah. Have you ever hated someone? You think?
hated someone. Hmm. No, I don't think so. Maybe just because I'm just a very giving, caring, and accepting person to the point where I could never hate someone even if they like genuinely hurt me.
Wow.
hmm So I
Hmm.
feel like my heart's just too big for that, you know, because
Hmm.
I'll always see the good side of things and push away the negative, and so,
People say that like hatred is the other side of the coin of love. You know, they can really only hate someone if you love them first.
yeah.
Um, which is interesting. It's interesting what you're saying, right? Hmm. I mean, there were moments when I mean, I really haven't loved many partners in my life,
hmm
but the ones I really liked, I also really hated them in moments. Really could not
yeah,
stand them.
yeah,
But that's also not hatred, though.
yeah,
Like you're saying. I mean, hatred to me is like genocide. You know,
yeah. Something like that.
I mean, it's that's an extreme case, but it also gets at it, like the labeling of a people, like saying that a group just is evil and you need to kill them.
Yeah, yeah,
Hatred stems from ignorance, I think. I think that's what I'm processing.
it definitely does.
Huh. Yeah, making me think of things. Yeah, yeah. Are you reading any good books lately? Do you read?
I don't really read. I don't like reading.
No, you're not a fan.
No, not really.
What about creative stuff? Do you draw? Do you play an instrument? Do you
No, I'm telling
write?
you, I'm so boring. Like
Stop.
I,
Stop.
I do nothing. Like I have no hobbies. There's things I want to get into, but I just haven't yet.
Like what?
Like I kind of want to learn how to skate, and I want to play guitar. So
Have you told your mom that you want a guitar for Christmas?
no, everyone always keeps asking me what I want for Christmas, and I'm just like, I don't know.
Well, now you have something.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Yeah.
I can draw. I don't know how to draw.
You don't know how to draw. Okay. Well, okay.
No.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been reading a little bit lately, and there's this great, I don't know if you like Shakespeare or if you like, I don't know. There's this really great community called the Shakespeare Forum. Um, I just talked about it on my reflection video a day or two ago. You should check it out and come on Tuesday nights because it's just a nice community of of creative people, and it's online. It's every Tuesday night, and yeah, I don't know. Maybe people like sing sometimes there. They write their own things, and I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there for you
Yeah,
to as a potential place to hang out.
that's cool. Yeah.
It'd be cool for other people watching too to come. Like to people for people to come and start supporting that community. Ah, that would mean the world to me. I just want to help people and help communities, and that's
Yeah.
all I ask.
hmm
You know. Well, is there anything else, Mariah?
Yeah, I got questions.
Okay. All right, let's do one or two more. One or two more.
Um, remember they're deep questions.
Okay.
What do you want your final words to
Oops.
be?
Okay, next question. That was my There you go.
Is that
Do you
really your
li- Yes. I want I want to say oops and then like fall from from the Empire State Building or something. I don't want to like jump. I want it to be an accident. You're like, I don't I don't know. I don't know. What do I don't know. See, it's hard for me to answer. It's hard for me to answer deep questions. What do I want my last words to be?
Yeah.
I don't want any last words. I want like I want to be like screaming. I want to be like screaming or something. I don't know.
Breathing.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? I mean, there you go.
I don't know. I mean, yeah. My last words. I don't. It's a good question. It's a good question.
hmm
It's just very hard for me to be serious for deep questions. Um,
I understand.
My last words. Um, enjoy the rest of what you got.
Yeah. 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 Yep.
Yep, I think that's that. Was that good?
Yeah. Yeah. It's good.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. Last question. Are you living a meaningful life?
Mariah, you're killing it with the questions. You're killing it. I just have to say, like, I'm proud of you. You know,
Proud of
I don't
me.
know what that means to you, but to be able to like go out of your way and email me and be like, hey, let's meet up. Hey, let's to take the initiative to write these questions. To yeah, I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you
Um,
too.
am I living a meaningful life?
Yeah.
I feel like the last few years I have not been living a meaningful life. I feel like the last few years I've been living a very selfish life, focused on only my own interests. And that's one of the reasons that I'm doing this channel, because I feel like I've been wasting it and haven't been contributing.
Do you feel like the
So,
channel is a distraction?
what is that?
Do you feel like the channel is a distraction?
No. I feel like the channel I feel like the channel is a means to start bringing people together. It's um, yeah, I think it's I to me I feel like it's been the opposite of a distraction. It's interesting that you asked me that. I think you froze. There
I know it's always freezing
you
up.
go. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's an interesting question. Do I think that it's a distraction? I don't think it's a distraction. I think that this is going to be a major part of my life moving forward.
Yeah.
I hope, I would like it to be. Day after day, just one day at a time.
I always say that line. I'm always saying that. Just taking it one day at a time. Yeah. Because, people are always like, let's say, going on Omegle. People are just always asking, how are you? And it's just like, am I supposed to answer honestly or tell a lie? Because, genuinely, I don't know how I am. And, people always say, that they're fine to cover up the fact that they're really not.
Yeah, what does fine mean? Fine is like such an
Fine,
empty. It's so empty. You know.
just I guess good, but you're not good.
Yeah. To me, when someone says fine, it's like it means like when they say fine, I hear just don't please don't ask me about me. you know. That's what I hear, and I'm like, all right, hey,
Well, most of the time I'll just say I'm okay or I'm alright, but yeah.
yeah, that's interesting. Not like you don't know how you are because yeah, like I think the first thing I think it's really healthy to think about how like when someone asks how you doing,
Mm,
like to think how do I feel right now,
yeah.
and feeling is very important, right? Like you can feel nothing, you know,
Yeah.
which I guess is content, maybe sometimes. I don't know. I mean, there's so many. It's
Yeah.
I guess I always really like being kind of like a teacher in a way. Like I love walking through thinking processes of how to feel and how to I don't know, like live. Because I don't think that people think about it much. I don't think people think about how they're living much. They're just constantly doing things to avoid having to think about themselves and their feelings.
It's like, am I really living? You know, or am I
Hmm.
just
I'm listening to you.
kind of here in the moment?
Yeah, like I don't. Oh, you froze again. Ah, stupid Zoom. I think.
You know,
Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, when it's like being in the moment, being being in the moment is like if you were to go up to one of your friends and be like, and you were like, "Hey, I'm feeling really shitty. Can I sit down with you and just vent to you?" Like that's
mm,
being present. I think not being present is like, "Oh, hey, like I have to run and hey, it's good to see you, but I have to run and get to chemistry or get to whatever the
yeah,
constantly being in motion, doing something."
right.
Hmm. Well, Mariah, this was great. I'm glad that we did this again. You know, is there
Me
are there any other last thoughts that you'd like to share with people watching?
too. You always ask this question.
Yeah. Well, you get the last word. You know.
All right. Be proud of who you are. Don't change for anybody. You know, just be yourself. Don't live up to society standards. It's my final words.
That's good, Mariah. Okay. Well, you know the spiel. I'm gonna upload the video,
Okay.
and yeah, it'll be on there. Thanks again.
Yeah, no problem.
I'll be talking to you soon. Let me know whenever, okay?
All right, I will.
And we're not gonna try to do Omegle again, okay? We just have to go just right to Zoom because you know.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. See you later.